Thank you. We are praying. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity. We are here again to continue with our studies. We also pray that give us attentive ears and then give us understanding so that at the end, success will come our way. Just we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. God bless you, Frank. So
Amen.
yesterday, I think that we were on course to almost finish the comprehension, and then my network started disturbing me. So let's do a quick recap of what we did yesterday. Then we can continue with today's lesson. So, like we said yesterday, comprehension is mainly that usually or normally you are not seen before, and you are required to read and answer the question. And we said that the main purpose of the comprehension to see how well you can comprehend the text. That is, how well you understand the text and then answer the text based on your understanding of the questions. Then we also said that there are various steps that we must take note of whenever we are confronted with comprehension questions. Usually, people are tempted to go straight to the passage. But like we said yesterday, the first thing you must do is to go to the questions and read the questions. Then after you read the questions, now unpack the questions, which means that find out the type of questions that is being demanded, okay, and how you can answer them. So there could be multiple choice question. There could be maybe a short passage question. It could be a statement. It could be an argument that is required from you. So when you're able to unpack the question, then you can now go to the text and read it with the questions in mind. So as you are reading, it's possible you may find clues to one or two questions that you have fresh in your mind, and that will aid you to quickly go through the comprehension. And we said that, comprehension is time bound, and you can't delay so much when you are answering those type of questions. So you have to really make use of these techniques to help you answer them. Now, we also said that depending on the things that you are asked to do, some could be names of the characters, some could be names of places, action of the characters, relationship between the characters. And so as you have the questions at the back of your mind, what you can do is the easier thing to do is that maybe if you see names of people, you just underline it. If you say places, if you names of places, you circle it. So you give some clues to everything that you are reading. So the moment you come back to answering the question, you know straightly where to go and where to get your answer. And we also said that there are times that you will be confronted with metaphor, simile, symbols, and all that. And these are all parts of the English. So you have to have a basic understanding of these poetry terms to help you in answering the question. But it doesn't always come in the passages, but once in a while it can pop up. And so having an idea about it is very good. We'll treat that one maybe tomorrow when we look at the other aspects of English language. So now, today, I want us to do something more practical. So I've put together some sample questions that I want us to go through and then and give the answers. So we will do it together. It's a very short passage, so I want to test your memory and how well you can go about it. So like I said, when you see the passage, don't be in a hurry to read the passage. Rather, go to the questions. Please, are you all following me?
Yes, please.
Yes,
yes, please, Papa.
So the first thing is to go to the questions and understand what the questions is demanding from you. And there are three questions. What is globalization? and what are driving forces behind it. So you realize that this first question is in two folds. It is asking you for the definition for globalization and the driving forces behind it. So please, if you have pen and paper, you can put down the question, okay? Take pen and paper and put down the question so that when you go to a passage, you don't lose sight of the questions. So please write the questions down. Everyone, write the questions down quickly. So what is globalization? Then secondly, what are the driving forces behind it? So if you focus on the first part of the question, you might not get the full marks. So you have to understand that it's a two-in-one question. Then number two says that what are some positive aspects of globalization? Positive aspects of globalization. Then the third question says that what are some negative consequences of globalization? So number two is about positive, and number three is about what? Negative. And number one is about what? The definition of the term globalization and the driving forces behind it. So when you get a grasp of these of the questions, then you can go to the text or the passage and go and read, and then you can be able to derive responses for the questions that you have been asked. Has everyone written the questions down? Okay, so now let's go to the text now. I'll give everyone just 3 minutes to read the text. It's very short, 3 minutes to read the text. So globalization is the process by which economies, cultures, and populations around the world become more integrated. It is driven by advances in technology, transportation, and communication, which have facilitated the flow of people, goods, ideas across national borders. Globalization has both positive and negative aspects. On the positive side, it has led to economic growth, the spread of new ideas and technologies, and increased cultural exchange. In many parts of the world, it has also helped reduce poverty and raise living standards. But globalization has also had negative consequences. This has led to job losses in some sectors as companies move production to countries with lower labor costs. It has also contributed to income inequality and environmental degradation. Companies prioritize profits over sustainability. So if you have the questions at the back of your mind, it helps you to go to answer the questions, get the responses from the passage. I'm sure everyone has finished reading.
Yes, please.
Okay. So now let's go back to the question again. It's very important. So what is globalization? Which is the definition? And what are the driving forces behind it? What are some positive aspects of globalization and the negative consequences? So the first one is what? What is globalization? What is the question asking you to do? Who can help us?
To define
what is globalization?
To define it.
Exactly. So I'm going to do what? Definition. And then the second aspect is about the forces behind it. So people, please kindly type the definition and the forces behind it. Type the definition for me, and then the driving forces behind globalization. You are permitted to use shorthand because of time. So what is globalization? And then what are the forces behind globalization based on the text that we have just read together? Type the definition first. Type the definition first, then you go to the second part with the driving forces. So when you finish the definition, send it to the chat. Then you send it to the chat as well. You can use shorthand because of time. So you realize that this type of question is mainly about giving some short sentences and phrases about the text. There are no multiple choice questions in these questions that we're giving. Okay, I can see one person to approach. Francis, Titi Ofe. Yes, that's correct, Francis. Correct, Francis. That's correct. Frank Donko. And the same thing, that's also correct. So when you send the definition, then send me the driving forces behind it as well. Frank Imba, that is also correct, Frank. So generally, I'm sure all of you have gotten the concept here, the definition. I think that the three people who have sent their answers got it right. Just asking for definition of the term globalization. So Kobe also had it correct. Samuel Jabba also had it correct. Isaac Bediakun had it correct. So now let's move on to the second part of the question because of time. Okay, so Francis is saying that it is driven by technology, transportation, and communication. Okay. Okay. Francis Asari too has given the definition correct. Ingba, the forces behind it correct. Yes, the concept. Ofusuhini, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, people, I think we are on course. So let's move on to the next question. The next question says that what are some positive aspects of globalization? This one, don't type it. Just raise up your hand. I'll call you. Then you answer. What are some positive aspects of globalization? You can raise your hand. I'll call you. Okay, Zila, that's correct. Obed, that's correct. Okay, Gideon. Yes, go ahead.
It has led to increase of ideas from other groups.
Increase of ideas.
Yeah. New ideas.
Can you explain a bit?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that because of the advancement of technology, what people who are in US are doing, because of the advance of technology, we are also able to do it in Ghana here.
Is it increase or spread? Because the passage says spread. You are saying increase.
Spread.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Messi, yes. You see, the transportation is driven by the drivers of